The Open Meetings Act posted on the west wall of the meeting room and is accessible to members of the public at any time during the course of this meeting. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. First, all items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a councilman or citizen so requests. First item on the consent agenda is item A, approve agenda as submitted. Item B, receive and place on file all notices pertaining to this meeting. Item C, receive and place on file all materials having any bearing on this meeting. Item D, approval of minutes of regular meeting on January 3rd, 2017, as on file in the City Clerk's office. Item E, approval of Treasurer's Report of Claims. E1, approval of Beatrice Humane Society claim in the amount of $5,000. E2, approval of balance of Treasurer's Report of Claims in the amount of $484,049.20. Item F, approval of Boswell Report of Claims in the amount of $95,440.41. Item G, approval of write-off of ambulance bad debts. Item H, resolution number 6007, executing the certificate of compliance to the Nebraska Department of Roads. Item I, resolution number 6008, appointing Jason Moore to the city's certified city street superintendent. Item J, resolution number 6009, entering into a haying agreement with Steve Wright for grass cutting, haying, and removal. Item K, resolution number 6010, entering into a lease with Justin M. Wiegand for farming purposes. Item L, resolution number 6011, entering into a contract with JEO Consulting Group, Inc. to undertake professional services relating to a concept feasibility study of the Beatrice Water Park facility. And item M, approval of change order number 4, an increase in the amount of $5,026.31 to R.L. Tiemann Construction, Inc., and final pay request in the amount of $28,124.24 for the Standing Bear Trail project. Any item that a council member wants removed from the consent agenda, Phil?
I need to abstain from E1 and to pull item L, please.
And item L. Okay. Anyone else?
No,
All right. Anybody from the public? All right. Mr. Catlin?
Mayor, I move that all the items listed, there was nobody that they wanted anything off.
Yes. Item L.
L.
Phil Cook wanted item L.
Alrighty, I move that all the items listed on the consent agenda with the exception of item L be approved, accepted, and ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that all items under the consent agenda be approved with the exception of item L. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6011, entering into a contract with JEO Consulting Group Incorporated to undertake professional services relating to a concept/feasibility study of the Beatrice Water Park facility be approved, accepted, and ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Cook, that resolution number 6011 be discussed further regarding the JEO Consulting Group contract or possible contract. Mr. Cook?
I only pulled it just for, it was since 1999 since that was designed and built. I'm glad we're doing a feasibility study on it, but what are we trying to, what's the concept? Or maybe Mark can tell us what we're trying to do or things.
Why don't you come on up, Mark, but Tobias, if you, or we'll let Mark do it, whatever you want to do.
Mark, you want to take this one?
I'll take a little bit, you can help me out here.
All right.
What we're looking at doing is trying to enhance it, basically. There's some things that we just got a couple of items that we need to look at. And also to maybe expand on the water park itself. Lazy Rivers, there's some other things out there. So it's kind of time, it's 17 years old, so.
From talking to the consultants as they came in, what we found out is some of the slides we have are essentially outdated. If you remember, we've lost the alligator that used to be in there. It's no longer at the water park. So it's missing some other features. Are there some things that we can add to help increase the attractiveness of our water park? Common things we hear are you've got the water park in Wymore that attracts people from Beatrice down to it. If you see Fairbury's looking at a new one now, we have people that travel to Lincoln to go to the water park. Do we need to do anything to ours? Is there anything we can do to ours to help increase the attendance at it? to make it more attractive to people.
Ted?
Well, other than lower the price, fill it up, it's dollar in, dollar out. As I read through that contract, and Phil pulled it off, and I appreciated that. As I read through it, you're looking at some of the services to look at the mechanics of it. Is it failing?
No, but we're getting to the point, the pumps are getting old. We've never done anything. We did have to replace a slide pump this year. We did do that. So, but yeah, things are starting to, about 20, you get into about 20 years, you start looking at, and then your ADA accessibility too is gonna be one thing, they'll look at, so.
Yeah, when it went in, it was kind of a 20-year, we knew
Usually
that.
they last about 30 years is what you
Yeah.
have them.
Lifespan.
Lifespan is 30 years, so.
Yeah. We were initially gonna put money aside to.
But we've never done anything mechanical to the, it's still all original, so, except for the pump on the slides, and we're doing that this spring.
Phil?
I'm glad you're doing that because it is starting to show its age. And it's not as, doesn't have the wow it used to have. It's 17 years old. And I know you see people in Lincoln, going to Lincoln now. But I'd also like, when we have this feasibility study, maybe we have a built-in set of people there that have season passes. Maybe send them a survey and say, what would you like to see? You're the people that have the stake in it, that come to it every day and drop your kids off and leave them out there for 3 or 4 hours. One person said to me, boy, wouldn't it be great to have a lazy river like Grand Island? I said, boy, would it be nice to have $20 million to do it, probably, but who knows how much, who knows how much it would cost. It'd be great to see what we can do to improve it and snazz it up a little bit again.
That is something that could go on the website as a survey.
Yeah.
Good.
Our attendance isn't down. Our attendance has about stayed the same the last 5 years. So we're up, 1,000, down 1,000. That's about where we're at. So really, for the last 5 to 7 years, we're about the same. So we just we can't get over the hump. So.
Rich?
I remember what Ted said about us, but did we ever put that money back? Did we ever put a fund in?
No, 2 years after, during the construction period of it, we bonded part of that. We were supposed to set money aside, and
Never got done.
no.
Is there
Short
any
answer to
grants or
that is-
anything we can
Short
do?
answer to that is no.
As far as grants for a water park, answer is no.
Community improvement, anything
Game
like
and
that?
parks.
There are a few out there, but they're very competitive. They're hard to get. You have to show some type of attendance on one of them. I'm thinking of possibly yes, but it's difficult to get those.
So if the updates, and what do you think? I know I'm not gonna hold you to it, but ballpark, if it got everything you wanted, what are you talking?
Depends. Lazy River was like a little over 2 million. And if you want to do some additions to the other one, you could spend another $500,000. You spend $2,500.
Some of the things they showed us were $20,000. I mean, so it really depends on what you're looking to add as features.
I'd even had somebody ask me about a splash pad, or is that what I asked you about? Remember what that was?
Yeah, and we're kind of exploring that now. Where that's
And you said something about
That's kinda-
$25,000 for that, or?
Well, I've been right now. They're about $90 a square foot, and I've been looking at those, and they're probably about 150 to 200,000 is what I'm looking at those. But I wouldn't put that over at the water park. I'd
So
put
we'd have to bond this?
that in a separate park.
Are you asking, would we have to bond the improvements at the water park?
Yeah.
It depends on what you ultimately do. If you went with a, $2.5, $3 million improvement, yes, we're probably gonna look at some type of bond issuance.
We split it up. When we built it, we did it 3 ways. We had, in 3 splits, we had a third of Keno, a third bond, and a third straight out of the general fund.
Yeah, I remember that.
Any other questions, comments? Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6011 has been approved. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing. Public hearing on the new application of Beatrice Hospitality LLC, doing business as the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, located at 4005 North 6th Street, Beatrice, Nebraska, for a Class 1 liquor license. That public hearing is now in session.
Rob Merrill, Chief Building
Yeah.
Inspector,
I need to swear him
City
in.
Beatrice, with planning and zoning
Hold on there.
duties as
Hold on,
well.
hang on just a minute. Do you both solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Again, Rob Merrill, Chief Building Inspector with planning and zoning duties. This is pretty much the same planning report we did about a year ago on this property. It's just changed ownership again. In all directions, it is zoned general commercial, and all those uses are the same in general commercial with the exception of the east, which is across Highway 77 there is the mobile home park. Looking at all those things, it doesn't look like there would be any negative effects in that area. Again, this is just strictly change of ownership.
Chief?
And as far as the police department goes, really nothing in here that would preclude recommendation, although you should note in the report that the applicant did receive a citation for sale to a minor back, incident that occurred in 13. Nothing since then, and that certainly probably wouldn't by itself preclude recommendation.
But at a different location.
Correct.
Yeah.
Occurred in Sarpy County.
Any questions of these two gentlemen? All right. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Mayor, I move that the public hearing be closed at 7:10 PM.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Claybaugh. The public hearing be closed at 7:10 PM. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Entertain a motion to approve the application.
Mayor, I move that the application of Beatrice Hospitality LLC, doing business as Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 4005 North 6th Street, Beatrice, Nebraska, for a Class 1 liquor license, be recommended to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission for approval.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that the application of Beatrice Hospitality LLC, Holiday Inn Express liquor license be approved. Any further discussion? And your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. We have no resolutions this evening. We do have an ordinance adding, it's an ordinance adding section 18-32 to the Beatrice City Code regarding restrictions on zoning and subdivision application approval.
Mayor, I move that said ordinance be given number 17-002. The title therefore be approved, the rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Cook. An ordinance number 17-002. That's the number be given to this ordinance. Rules suspended, and the said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. Motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-002 by number the first time. Ordinance number 17-002 by number the second time, and ordinance number 17-002 the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 17-002 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Cook, that ordinance number 17-002 be approved. Tobias?
This is an ordinance that would add a section to our city code. You'll note on page 99 of your packet is the code section we're looking to add. Essentially, it would allow the city council or planning and zoning to delay action or disapprove any zoning applications, special use permit, subdivision application, etc., if there is an existing zoning violation, nuisance violation, or other such violation on the property. So that's what we're looking to add. You'll see that it was recommended by the planning and zoning as well.
Questions? Anybody? All right, your vote please then. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-002 has been approved. Next item is the public forum. Purpose of the public forum is for the presentation of an item by the general public to the city council for consideration at a later date. No discussion or action will be taken by the city council at this time. Anybody on the council that has anything for the public forum? And any of the department heads? All right, we'll move on to discussion. I'm sorry, Rich?
Just have Toby tell Jason and the guys they did a good job on the street. Got a lot of compliments. So.
Good, thank you.
All right, discussion and reports. The Engage quarterly report has been postponed and will be received on February the 6th. Next item is item B, the legislative update.
As you know, the legislature is back in session. Again, we're just going to kind of update you on these. If there's any that you wish get more information on, let me know. When take formal action to have the city council take a position one or the other, we certainly can do that as well. Ted?
Yeah, number 9, which Chris has for the radon testing, or the radon for new construction. That's something I tried to get through the council here at one time, got defeated. I'd like us to support that. I've got a question on number 97. Why is Senator Crawford introducing something that affects us? And if it affects us, why aren't we supporting that? I'd like us to support 256 as well. I think that's a good idea. So those 3 things.
You said number 97?
Number 9, number 97, and number 256.
Okay. And for those at home who don't have these, 9 has to do with the radon resistant. Chris has tried this a couple different ways. This most recent one would develop a task force who would develop some standards and go through it that way. On number 97, that is the Riverfront Development Act. This was started a couple years ago. Basically, it would allow anybody that has one of the rivers that's named, and Big Blue River is one that we got added in there a couple years ago. They can impose a separate tax, if you will, that would be used much like a business improvement district. It could be levied upon assessment. It could be levied based upon square footage. There's some different rules. But the money that generates then has to be used to go back towards the riverfront development. Right. And you have to define an area and some things like that. But
Yeah, as I read this, it's real similar to what they did in, so state of Utah initially did this, and they determined a specific thing. Their tax goes strictly to restaurants and bars. It's, and they have sunset in it. They do it by direct projects, and it works really well. They do it by districts. So I think as I read that, I think that's real similar to what this is. So.
And 256, that again, as it states there, is indicate it would create the Vacant Property Registration Act. Essentially, it would allow the city to require vacant properties to be registered, and then you could also impose a fine or a fee, an application fee, if you will, that helps the city generate some revenue on those vacant properties. One question I have through it is some of our vacant properties are zombie properties. Essentially, there is no owner, or the owner's difficult to try to figure out who it is. You can impose all the fines you want to. I mean, we mow them every year. We don't ever get paid for them because, well, you can't track down the owner. So there would be some things there to kind of work through and see how that they get that to come through.
Yeah, I see a flaw in that, but as I read through that it's not just communities our size, it's communities smaller than us that have these problems. They got to be able, eventually you can get the piece of property. It has some value, at least. If you sell it after you get it, if you sell it for $1, you sold it to somebody that's going to maintain it, and it's off your hands. So
Right.
I think that's something we should support too. So that's all I had.
Is there also, in regards to 256, would that supersede our current vacant building ordinance?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Okay. That'd be one of the other concerns, is if this should pass, would it supersede what we already have, and we would have to use this as a baseline? So that would be another question.
Rich?
On 262, would you explain that to me?
On 262, this bill is introduced. It has to do with TIF. Basically, this bill, one, you can't use TIF money for acquisition, planning, or preparing. So right now, you can TIF the purchase price of a piece of land. You can use that as a tax, it's an eligible expense. Also, you can use architect's fees, engineering fees, some attorney's fees. Some of those things are eligible TIF expenses currently. I believe this bill would take those out. In addition, it says you cannot have undeveloped vacant land be declared blighted and substandard. We have that right now. We have vacant land that we have declared as blighted and substandard. This bill would say that we cannot do that.
Well, I think we ought to go on record as opposed to that bill, don't you?
Certainly would be one that would be opposite of what we have done in the past, yes.
Well, almost
This would be
every-
opposite of what we've done in the past,
Yes.
correct?
I mean, every housing development we put in pretty much has been undeveloped land that we've used TIF funding for, so it kind
Right.
of ties our hands, doesn't it?
I mean, most communities do it through undeveloped land rather than, Lincoln and Omaha, they're big enough, they're doing, infill back in, some of those things, but outside of that, most everybody uses undeveloped land.
Okay.
I'd say it's up to this body if they want to make motions to have us support them, if they simply just want administration to contact state senators and write letters and indicate our stance on these bills. You guys tell me what it is that you would like to do as a formal body.
Or we could possibly bring it back to the February 6th meeting in some type of a form for approval.
We could do that, because if you'll notice, none of them are set for hearings. None of these bills that you talked about are set for hearings between now and then, so.
Yeah. You can go to whoever the senator is that is attached to that, you can just go to their website and read the whole bill.
Right.
And then you see most of them have an attachment, who's also supporting and who's pushing against it, so.
So, yeah, Stan, we could do that. We certainly could get some more information, bring it back at the next meeting, and
Yeah, or maybe
take
just
some stances
post
then,
the
and
bill in the copy of the bill in the packet as well, so.
we can do that.
You can read it online.
Okay.
All right. Anything else regarding the legislative bills? All right. Next item is the update on the city administrator's monthly report that's in your packet.
Just a few things in your packet. 6 Industrial Row, that bid has been out. We've received bids on that one. It appears that Teeman has been the low bid. I think you'll see BPW make a recommendation tomorrow to award the bid to Teeman. I'll come back to you at your next council meeting. That one, we're looking for a March start time, March, April start time, done at sometime in June is kind of what we've got scheduled for that project currently. Other than that, Christmas trees, we're continuing to chip those. I think Mark's guys are down there trying to get rid of those. And I believe Chief Lang has something on his, if you read in his report about Alert Sense. And Chief's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you very much. Bruce Lang, Chief of Police. All of you have cell phones, smartphones, most of us, not all of us, but most of us have smartphones. And we now have a new notification system called Alert Sense, one word, Alert Sense. And by going to that, simply puts that in your app, you'll get, the app will come up, it's a free download, and that will connect you into our system, which will allow you to receive notifications for everything from Amber Alerts, which you receive, most of you receive now, through the IPAWS system, which is Homeland Security, weather updates, but more specifically, if we would have something unique to your neighborhood or your area, we can actually go in our communication center, draw a circle on the map, it'll populate all the phone numbers in that area. Maybe we're chasing a bad guy, maybe we have a gas leak, maybe there's a water main break, all sorts of different things we can do with that information and to notify the public. We've had a variation of this for many years. So this is, we're not reinventing the wheel, we're just making it a better wheel. And it's actually cheaper. And what's happened is the state is subsidizing this program so that every county in the state ultimately will be using the same one, so we'll all be on the same page. This will put us in, link us in with Jefferson and Saline counties. And we're actually sharing the Alert Sense between the three of us, and it's given us even better cost savings. But so when we get done with the meeting tonight, pull that up on your phone and let you put your address in there, computers, and that does the rest, and that's all you got to do. And so I encourage you to tell your constituents, tell your family, tell everyone, because people do not have landlines like they used to, and this is the way that the world communicates, and this is one way that we can help to get important information out to the public. So
if you ping it in an area,
Okay, Toby, when we're done.
if you got a fire or something, it pings in an area.
Mhm.
Does it ping every address in there? Or
Yes.
does it ping every? So if Rick's in Hawaii, it's still going to go off,
yeah,
letting him know.
it's gonna say, hey,
Your house is on
your
fire.
house, your neighbor's house is
Yeah,
on
your neighbor's
fire,
house
or
on fire.
we want you to evacuate, or you've got a gas leak in your neighborhood. Because you'll put in when you do that, when you register here, you'll put your address in. So it's going to go by your
Well,
address.
still an advantage even if you're traveling, because then you can always have somebody, then you know.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
My only concern was it was a three-county area. What if it's northwest Saline County, and we don't care about what's happening up there at the time? Do we get pinged on that one too?
No.
Would there never be a three-county?
It might be like if it affected you, it wouldn't. You're not going to get it unless it affects you. Most of the push outs that we're really concerned about are going to come out of our dispatch center for all of Gage County and Crete are all going to be can be notified out of there. So Saline County puts out something for an area up by Friend, that's not gonna kick off your phone. If it's something that goes through the IPOS system, which is the Homeland Security system, then, that pushes out to everybody. And then, yeah, you're gonna be a part of that. Some of that you may already be getting, depending on what kind of phone service you have, so.
Okay. Bob?
Is there a way to put in more than one address? I'm thinking like I'm at home, maybe I want to have something for Southeast Community College, be a little quicker response to shut things down.
Great question.
Just see how my mind's going that way.
You know what, Bob, I hate to say
No,
this,
Chief
but I don't.
Dickey has the answer.
I don't know that. I mean,
right here, buddy.
25 years ago, I would have made up something, but right now I'm just telling you I don't know the answer.
Brian Dinky, Fire Chief.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Oh, super. Thank you.
See? He's my backup.
Yeah.
He's my backup.
Sorry.
All right. No, that's fine. That's a good question.
Any other questions?
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you very
Chief,
much.
thank you. Anything else, Tobias?
Not
Hey,
that I have.
speaking of trees, we're chipping Christmas trees.
Yes.
There is a lot of limb damage, especially in the more established neighborhoods around town. Is there going to be a drop-off point for some of these? Could we conceivably drop them off at the same place and get those chipped up, or are we not prepared for that?
We haven't discussed that. If we, obviously anybody can take them out to a landfill. Tree limbs are obviously accepted out there. That's one place they can always take brush. I'd probably tell them to take it out there and add to that pile.
And that's free of charge?
We started charging for brush. It's now $5 per truckload.
Okay, so take a whole truckload.
Take a whole truckload.
Not just a limb. Okay?
Pick up all your neighbors, be a kind citizen. And
Just one branch, take it over to Toby's and throw it in his yard.
There you go. All right. Next item on the agenda, we're going to go into executive session. Our next city council meeting is going to be on February 6th at 7 o'clock. We'll have a work session at the end of the month, January 23rd. Ted?
It's gonna take you to put that thing.
I had a question in the, did you do that? The monthly reports. We didn't get to that. We're doing the,
Okay, what's your question?
the properties under James Burrows and the properties, it said, it talked about the Standing Bear Trail being completed. There's a gap in there. We're not completed with that, right?
No, correct. The Standing Bear Trail as it currently exists is completed. From Dempster's back to Trailhead Park is still scheduled to be built this upcoming summer.
Okay.
And when that's done, we'll extend Standing Bear Trail through that portion as well.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that it didn't,
No, we're not done.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Catlin?
Mayor, I move that the Beatrice City Council go into closed session at 7:27 PM for the protection of public interest to discuss real estate.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr. The city council go into executive session at 7:27 PM for the protection of public interest to discuss real estate. Your vote, please. And that is approved 6-1 with Councilman